A warm welcome to all. We will start the inaugural session soon as our guests are yet to join. Good morning to our distinguished guests, esteemed speakers, respected delegates, and all participants. This conference is organized by the Directorate of Online Education, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, which, established in the year 2021, delivers high-quality digital learning aligned with the degree programs MBA, MCA, BBA, and BCA, entitled by UGC, approved by AICTE, Ministry of Education, India. We, in collaboration with Lincoln University, Malaysia, and National Institute of Technical Teachers Training and Research. We are delighted by all your presence and participation in this significant academic gathering that aims to explore emerging paradigms, challenges, and opportunities in digital learning. To mark the auspicious beginning of this conference, we shall now proceed with the ritual lighting of the lamp, a tradition that symbolizes the illumination of knowledge, wisdom, and intellectual awakening. I cordially invite our esteemed dignitaries to kindly join us for the ritual lighting of the lamp by switching on your camera. As we light the lamp, we reaffirm our commitment to knowledge, innovation, and collective learning in a digitally connected world. With this momentous beginning, I now invite our founding director and conference chair, Dr. Manoranjan Punram, to deliver the welcome address and set the context for the conference.
Thank you, Revati. So, very good morning to all. People are in different time zones. I think the day wish to all members present over here. Uh, right. It's my pleasure to warmly welcome Dr. Amia Baumik, Mr. Nick Hutton, Ms. Amna Albastiki, Dr. Leila Mitstukala, Dr. Malliga, and Mr. Doraiswamy Rajikrishnan to this two-day international conference on unleashing the potential of digital learning, challenges, and opportunities. A special welcome to all academicians, corporate executives, researchers, students, and participants. We are truly honored to have you with us. We are meeting at a pivotal moment in history. As we move through 2026, digital learning has evolved from an alternative educational approach to a core pillar of education and the workforce development worldwide. This transformation is not coming, it is already here and it is accelerating. Now, let's look as a part of the context setting. Let's look at the projections of the education technology, corporate training, and e-learning markets and understand the opportunities that are emerging from this rapid growth. Globally, the edutech market is growing at over 20% CAGR, compound annual growth rate, driven by online and hybrid learning, AI-based personalization, and digital education tools. In India, the education sector is growing around 15%, supported by post-COVID shift to online learning and strong government initiative. The government initiative in the sense, the central government gross enrollment ratio focus. A key national goal is to increase the gross enrollment ratio to 50% by 2035 from the current level of about 28.4%, which provides a huge opportunities in this domain. At the same time, the global corporate e-learning market is growing at around 13 to 14%, and while India leads with nearly 20%, 26% growth, driven by digital upskilling, continuous reskilling, and artificial intelligence-driven learning platform. This rapid growth creates significant opportunities for educators, institutions, and entrepreneurs. So this sector, which is opening up and which shows a huge opportunities in the Indian market, because the growth compared to the global market, the training sectors is on the higher side, which provides a huge opportunities across the sectors. Keeping this in view, this international conference is organized around 9 comprehensive sub-themes covering the major research areas in digital learning. We received over 200 paper submissions from researchers across diverse institutions and regions, from which more than 60 quality papers were carefully shortlisted for presentation. The best papers from these shortlisted submissions have been published in collaboration with Lincoln University, Malaysia, as a part of the official conference proceedings. This rigorous review and publication process ensures that the conference highlights the cutting-edge research, innovation, and global perspective. This conference brings us together to explore opportunities, address challenges, and collectively shape the future of digital learning. With this note, I would like to welcome you all for this inaugural session. Once again, thank you. Over to Revati.
Thank you, sir, for your warm welcome address and for eloquently setting the tone and direction for this conference. We are proud to welcome Mr. Nick Hutton, Regional Director, Mastersoft, Singapore, with extensive experience in digital learning solution and educational technology across the region. Mr. Hutton brings valuable insights into technology-driven education and institutional transformation. Please, sir.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, great. Excellent. If it's okay, I will just share my screen quickly. I have a short presentation that I'm going to share.
Sure.
Let me know if you can see this.
Yes, sir.
Everything okay?
Yes, it's fine.
All right, excellent. So, good morning, good afternoon, and maybe good evening, everybody. First of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Ram and the entire team at SRM Institute of Science and Technology, the Directorate of Online Learning, for putting together such an outstanding conference. And also thank you very much for inviting me to speak. Let me start with a simple comment. I'm sure many of you here have taken an online course. I'm also sure that many of you have taught one. And I wonder how many of you who have done both or either of those have struggled with one. And I'm sure a lot of you are nodding your heads. Today, I want to talk about why that happens. Digital learning is no longer an experiment. It's no longer the future. It is absolutely, as Dr. Ram quite rightly said, the present. And for millions of students, it is the only door to higher education. So the real question is not should we do online learning? The question is, and this is the most important one, are we doing it well? So let's be honest. In most universities today, digital systems essentially run everything, whether it's admissions, registration, teaching, assessment, graduation, and of course, the ongoing relationship with the alumni when they leave and they want to continue in their lifelong learning objectives. We generally live inside learning platforms, whether they be Canvas, Moodle, Blackboard, or my old company, Brightspace. They are absolutely our new campuses. And those campuses never close. We now see hybrid degrees, we see global classrooms, we see the ongoing growth of micro-credentials. A student in Bangkok can learn from Boston. A teacher in London can teach in Chennai. And if you think about it, that is absolutely extraordinary. Historically and today, education has never, ever been this portable. Let's talk about the opportunities and let's look at the learners and the faculty when we do. So if we start with the students, for many learners, digital education is not a convenience, it's a lifeline. It means that a single parent can study at midnight, a refugee can earn a credential, a rural student can access world-class teaching, and flexibility changes lives. Digital learning also allows something powerful. It allows control. Students can pause, they can rewind, they can repeat, they can learn at their speed. And for the first time, education adapts to learners instead of learners adapting to institutions. Now let's talk about the faculty. Digital learning has quietly transformed teaching. It's moved us from delivering content to designing learning experiences. We now use video, simulation, discussion boards, case studies, and many other tools. We build journeys, not just lectures. And with data, we see things we never saw before. Who's falling behind, where confusion starts, which topic causes anxiety, and predictability around outcomes. We can intervene early. And for faculty, that is very, very powerful. Of course, none of this happens without technology. As we all know, we now have AI tutors covering all stakeholders within the institution. We have adaptive quizzes. We have virtual classrooms that a lot of us have grown up with now. And we have very important collaboration tools. Technology can personalize learning at scale. But here's the truth. Technology does not create learning. People do. Bad pedagogy with great technology is still bad pedagogy. Now let's move on to the challenges. If we think about the learners as a starting point, the struggles, if we're honest about it, the struggles are real. And for learners, the biggest challenge is not intelligence, it's discipline. Online students must manage time, motivation, distraction, loneliness. If you think about it, they're on their own. There is no classroom energy. There is no social pressure on them. And of course, there are no teachers' eyes on them. So the whole area of motivation becomes an incredibly important part of taking a digital learning course. And then, of course, there's access. Not everybody has fast internet, good devices, quiet space. Equity is still unfinished work. From a faculty perspective, digital teaching is often what I would call invisible labor. A great online course takes months. Recording, editing, designing, testing, being able to deliver it, changing from being a deliverer of teacher to a facilitator rather than a teacher. It's a very different skill that you have to develop as a faculty. Many instructors learn platforms at night. They learn on the weekends. They learn between meetings. And of course, academic integrity, that keeps many of you awake at night, whether it's around AI, whether it's around plagiarism, whether it's the whole concept and challenge of remote exams. The fact is that trust is harder at a distance. At the institutional level, the challenges are very much more strategic. Infrastructure is typically expensive. Cybersecurity is critical. Training is continuous as new technologies come out on a regular basis, and the quality is always fragile. One poorly designed program can damage reputation for years. And in this area, leadership matters. It matters here a lot. So let's look at what actually works. What separates strong programs from weak ones? Well, there are really four things. The first is interaction and engagement. Students must do, not just watch. And the challenge of building an incredibly engaging course and being able to engage the student for the whole length of that course is a real one, because lack of engagement leads to attrition and students dropping out. The second one is structure. If you don't have clear structure, then you have anxiety. So clarity reduces anxiety. The third one is feedback. If you don't have feedback, you don't have motivation. Silence kills motivation. And the fourth one is absolutely support, because no student succeeds alone. The bottom line is that great digital learning feels human, even through a screen, if all of the elements of it are done correctly and put in place correctly. Now let's look forward. The future is not fully online and it's not fully in person. As Dr. Rao mentioned, it is more of a blend. You know, we will see short credentials, we'll see stackable skills, we'll see lifelong learners developing, and we'll see very personalized pathways that are supported by great technology platforms. Education will no longer be 4 years and done. It will be, and it currently is developing that way, learning for life. And digital learning will be absolutely at the center of it. So in conclusion, let me leave you with 3 ideas. 1, digital learning is a massive opportunity. I think we know that. The numbers and the growth opportunity there that Dr. Ram mentioned earlier on are real. Secondly, all the challenges I've talked about today are solvable. They need work, but they are solvable. And the third one, quality is a choice for everybody. It's a choice made by leaders, designers, teachers, and students. And when those groups work together, digital learning becomes transformational. Thank you very much for your attention. Please enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your engaging and insightful address. Your perspectives on digital learning and educational innovation have added immense value to this conference. We are privileged to have with us today Dr. Amia Baumek, founder and president of Lincoln University, Malaysia, who also serves as the conference co-chair. Dr. Baumek is a globally respected leader in higher education and a valued collaborator of SRM Institute of Science and Technology. He has played a significant role in advancing international academic collaboration and promoting quality education worldwide. He has also served as the Director of International Affairs at Ottawa University, USA, and is a recipient of the prestigious award Bintang Cemerlang Melaka, conferred by the Government of Malacca, Malaysia, in recognition of his contribution to education. So please, sir.
Good day to everyone. And it's my great pleasure to participate in this virtual conference. And theme of the conference is absolutely perfect. In the year of 2026, we have just completed last December as the quarter century, let's put it this way, 25 years of 2000 years completed. But what the whole world, the whole humanity is experiencing, that the digital presence in every parts of human being. Now I remember that during 1980s, when the computer started to affect the normal life, people didn't want to accept it. I have seen in many countries in the world that in early 80s, that when the organizations, especially the universities, were adopting computerization process of their administration, the university staff, university students used to come up with a big procession against the computerization. Oh, people will be losing job. But now, none of us in this world can live without this small gadget of the handphone. Even the small kid also is having cell phone. So that way, AI, the artificial intelligence, is going to affect in our each and every human being. Now, what we are looking at, that so-called online distance learning program, still the human being giving lectures, recording, and etc. A time to come, the online, no more living human being will be delivering lectures. All artificial intelligence will be delivering lectures, webinar, and etc. And prepare that. You'll be surprised that a German collaborator, friend of mine in Germany, he came up with delivering few of medical faculties lectures delivering via the AI. And I have given him input, and very soon the entire medical degree, a time to come, will deliver by online, which people are objecting it, but it is going to happen. It is going to happen, and it is happening. So what I like to say that these artificial intelligence and digital, people think that they are going to take away our job. Not really correct. Rather, it is creating more critical thinking oriented human being. Rather, lecturers who are diligent, they have to critically think how I can give the good feedback, so-called AI-oriented thing. So the conference, which has been organized by the SRM institution, it's a great thing. I hope the participants and the organizing committee would take this one in a manner that they will come up with various agendas, referendums that could actually can be implemented and can create an impact in the society. The educational institution, the greatest job, whatever they do, they must create an impact in the society. If they cannot create an impact in the society, then there is no value of educational institutions. It is not. Rather, if that educational institution cannot create impact in the society, better not to be. So therefore, whatever we do in the name of educational institution, we should be able to create an impact. So digital education, innovation is nothing but the conventional or traditional way of online education delivery need to be changed in such a manner that people who are participating in that educational method, they are able to critically analyze, critically upgrade themselves, and so that they create an impact. So with this, I do not want to take much time because I'm sure a lot of participants have got a lot of things to do, but let's do something together, that we are tourists in this world. We will not be around for many years, but whatever we do, make sure when we leave from this world, you create your legacy, you create your footprint, and that can only be done via the educational institutional activities. We all are the stakeholders of educational institutions. We should take that responsibility and create an impact. With this, I wish the conference goes very well and all the participants come up with some kind of referendum that can be implemented and society can be benefited. Thank you very much. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Very well said. We will take your points. We will take it forward. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your impactful and thought-provoking address. We sincerely value your visionary perspectives insightful reflections, and continued collaboration with SRM. We are delighted to have Ms. Amna Albistiki, Cybersecurity Engineer, General Directorate of Residence and Foreigners Affairs, UAE, with us today. She specializes in safeguarding critical digital assets and national infrastructure with strong expertise in security governance, risk management, and cyber resilience. Her work plays a crucial role in protecting government digital services in an evolving cyber threat landscape. Please, ma'am.
Hi, good morning and good afternoon and good evening to everyone. Thank you first of all for the kind opportunity to be a part of this conference. And as said, I am a cybersecurity engineer working in the government sector in the UAE, and I am part of the operational cybersecurity team. And my role focuses on defending critical systems, responding to real-world cyber threats, and ensuring the continuity of essential digital services. Can you please go to the next slide? So yeah, when COVID-19 struck in late 2019, the world was unprepared. Governments struggled, businesses scrambled, and healthcare systems were stretched thin. But for us in IT and cybersecurity, a very specific fear emerged, a fear of remote work that would become a massive playground for cyber criminals. Almost overnight, millions of employees worldwide shifted from secure office environments to home networks that were never designed to handle enterprise-level security. Cyber attackers knew this, phishing campaigns surged, and ransomware attacks spiked. So today, I want to share how we didn't just survive that challenge, we transformed it into an opportunity. This is the story of how digital technologies fundamentally changed the way we work, how we protected our people, and how crisis accelerated innovation. So at the height of the pandemic, our management faced an urgent mandate to move 50% of our workforce to remote work and do it securely. This wasn't simply about just business continuity or flexibility. It was about protecting people, working mothers who needed to stay home with children, elderly staff members who were vulnerable to the virus, employees with health risks. Our goal was not just productivity, it was inclusion, safety, and responsibility. But there was a serious challenge. How do you allow employees to work from home without exposing the organization to ransomware, data theft, insider threats, and network breaches? We had actually limited time, we had limited budget, but we had zero tolerance for security compromise. Can you please move to the next slide? And instead of panicking, we made a deliberate decision that we would treat this crisis as a strategic transformation project. We brought together our C-level leadership and took a structured, data-driven approach. First, we benchmarked industry leaders. We studied Gartner research, we reviewed Frost Radar reports, and we analyzed how global enterprises were solving secure remote access at scale. So two enterprise-grade solutions emerged as finalists. Both platforms were strong, but both had proven credibility, but we refused to rely on marketing promises or assumptions. Instead, we launched a proof of concept, which we call a POC. So we split our teams. One team tested one software and the other tested another solution. They built real-world use cases based on actual business workflows. Can you please move to the next slide? Yeah. We tested performance, usability, scalability, and security. We measured login time, application response, user satisfaction, and IT overhead. And when the data came back, the conclusion was clear. One solution was fit better for our organization. And why is that so? Can you please just go to the next slide? Because it delivered enterprise-grade security without sacrificing user experience, a critical factor when rolling out technology at scale during a crisis. So how did the solution work? First, when logging in, employees had to verify their identity using two authentication factors. their domain password, and a rotating passcode generated every 30 seconds, which is what we call multi-factor authentication. This alone eliminated nearly all credential-based attacks risks. Even if an attacker stole a password, it became useless without the second factor. But we didn't just stop at authentication. We implemented a virtual desktop infrastructure, which is VDI. And you can think of VDI as a secure digital office in the cloud. Employees were no longer directly on their physical laptops. Instead, they accessed a virtual desktop environment that mirrored their office workstation. From the user perspective, it felt seamless, same apps, same desktop, and same workflow. But behind the scenes, this architecture created a powerful security advantage. If a laptop became infected with malware, the malware could not reach corporate systems. If ransomware tried to spread, it could not move laterally inside the network. Attackers were effectively trapped outside the secure container. Next, we deployed proxy and secure web gateway technology in every device. This ensured that remote employees had the exact same security protection as office users. In effect, we extended the corporate security perimeter into every employee's home. This was a fundamental shift from perimeter-based security to identity-based and one-device-based security. Can you please go to the the other slide? Yeah. So the results were powerful. We successfully enabled 50% of our workforce to work remotely. We experienced zero ransomware incidents, zero major data breaches, and zero productivity collapses. In fact, productivity increased. Employees saved commute time, teams adapted digital collaboration tools faster, and work became more flexible. But beyond metrics, the real success was human. We protected working parents, we protected vulnerable employees, and we preserved jobs. The experience, can you please move one more slide? The experience taught us an important lesson. This wasn't just an IT project, it was a cultural transformation. Before COVID, remote work was viewed as risky. After COVID, remote work became secure by design. We moved from reactive security to proactive resilience. And perhaps most importantly, we proved that technology is not just a barrier, it's an enabler. Digital tools are not obstacles to overcome, they are force multipliers. Every crisis carries a story of opportunity. Every disruption carries the potential for reinvention. COVID-19 was our challenge, digital transformation was our response, and the way we work has been changed forever for the better. We didn't just survive the pandemic, we emerged stronger, more secure, and more future ready. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for your impactful keynote address. We greatly appreciate your valuable insights on cybersecurity and the protection of critical digital infrastructure. We are fortunate to have with us today Dr. Leila Mitskulava, Associate Professor of Computer Science, Ivane Javakishvili Tbilisi State University, Georgia. With over 2 decades of experience in AI, intelligent systems, cybersecurity, and digital education. She is a former Fulbright and DAT scholar and actively contributes to international research initiatives and academic collaborations. Please, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. Let me share my screens, okay? Sorry. I will share my screen and my presentation. And here is, just a moment, please. Okay, again, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me at this wonderful conference. And it is great honor to serve as a keynote speaker over here. Let me start my presentation. I am talking about shaping the future of digital learning, access, intelligence, and global impact. But why digital learning matters today, I need to explain a bit more about that. Okay, and many of presenters mentioned already what is the importance of digital learning nowadays, but digital learning is no longer an alternative to traditional education. Sorry, it has become core component of modern educational systems. It allows us to move beyond physical classrooms and the institutional boundaries, because what we have here and many options, okay, to do so, and access to education anywhere and anytime. We can have personalized learning experiences, skills for the digital age, and connecting and collaborating globally. Let me explain and what does it mean here and how this can have influence this access education anytime, anywhere. Because but here, and we need to touch some many of other opportunities. And here's some global learning opportunities, because but without any geographical boundaries, some learners from rural area can access to virtual classrooms like as a student from a global major city. Here's a flexible learning. We have this opportunity and study at your own pace and schedule. And here's a, but now we cannot waste any time, for example, to visit any classrooms and so on. And we have another opening some knowledge, access to global content, and some expert resources. Let me talk about my personal experience. I am a professor at many US universities, and I'm using Zybook. Here's one of the most powerful, here's a web-based books with interactive classrooms and virtual classrooms and some animations and embedded labs, where I can, during my lecture, I can share some animation and show how it's going very live processes. And even I can run embedded labs and from this classroom. So, and we have fourth, okay, here's some opportunity, inclusive access and empowering undeserved and remote communities. Here's mainly, okay, we can have some fever from this, okay, access education anytime and anywhere. So what's the next here? Next is personalized learning experiences. Here we have some main opportunities. Here, for example, we can, here a learner can, for example, in digital systems, but what we can say, and allow us to move beyond, and very well, what is it, one size fits all model, and we can replace this digital learning by this, right? And through adaptive platforms and learning and analytics, we can tailor content to individual learning speeds and styles. We can identify learning gaps early, what we have had, and provide real-time feedback and targeted support. So next one is, but it matters so much, right? First, we need to develop our skills for the digital age. And this education today must prepare learners not only for exams, but for complex, dynamic, and technology-driven societies. Key skills include, you can see over here, some list of them, and digital literacy and technological proficiency, and critical thinking, problem solving, and data analysis and cybersecurity. Yes, and Miss Anna, talks so much about cybersecurity. I'm professor in cybersecurity, and we are facing, okay, many problems, even when we moved to, yes, during the COVID period to virtual classrooms. And first was Zoom bombing, even invented and so on, and we can talk so much about cybersecurity. But I need to move to the next okay, step in my slide, okay? So, and connecting and collaborating globally. And digital platforms allows us to build virtual classrooms without any borders. Students can work on projects with peers from different countries, right? And educators can co-teach across institutions and cultures. Researchers can share knowledge in real time. And when it comes to key drivers of digital learning, and we have here technology advancement, increasing access to devices and internet. And when it comes to artificial intelligence, as I mentioned already, we can personalize our learning. And here's a main important thing, like first workforce demands. And we need for upskilling and reskilling, and we need to deliver some trainings and make aware and raise awareness in cybersecurity, digital awareness, and other things. And mostly, this is the most important, we can remotely learn and join our digital learning. Here's a hybrid education matters so much, and this growing need for flexible learning options. So what's the opportunities, main opportunities here? And here's the innovation and growth. A digital learning process has serious challenges. Here's the digital inequality and infrastructure gaps we have, and data privacy and cybersecurity risks, and language and cultural barriers, faculty training, and institutional readiness. But here's some all these things, and when it comes to innovation and growth,
Dr. Leila, I think. Okay. Maybe due to technical glitch, Dr. Leila. I think Revati, I think she got disconnected. I think you may please invite the
Yes, sir.
next.
Now we are pleased to welcome Dr. P. Malliga Ma'am, Professor and Head, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, National Institute of Technical Teachers Training and Research, Chennai. With over 3 decades of distinguished service in technical education and digital learning, a pioneer in faculty development, Swayam mock initiatives, and immersive learning technologies. Her contributions have significantly advanced technology-enabled teaching and learning at the national level. Please, ma'am.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. Very good morning, good afternoon to all present here, like distinguished dignitaries, respected colleagues, educators, researchers, and dear participants. It is a privilege to address this esteemed gathering on the topic that is no longer about the future of education. It is about the present transformation. Like Mr. Nick addressed the same thing, like it is the present transformation, it is not the future transformation. So you know that NITTTR is a national coordinator for teacher training and education, which has been offering more than 100 new courses particularly for teachers, for their professional development, and also offering capacity building workshops and training for digital education. So with that experience and opportunity, I would like to address. So today education stands as the defining moment, the convergence of AI, massive open online courses, that is MOOC, and the immersive technologies such as AR and VR is fundamentally reshaping how we teach, how we learn, and most importantly, how and who gets access to quality education. So from the last decade, digital learning has moved rapidly from supplementary to essential. MOOCs have democratized access to knowledge, reaching millions across the geographical, economic, and social boundaries. Yet, access alone does not guarantee equity, engagement, or excellence. So, the challenge before us is to how do we move from scale to significance, from content delivery to meaningful learning experience? This is where the intelligent and immersive technologies play a transformative roles. So AI as a engine for personalization is redefining learning as a responsive and adaptive process rather than one size fits all model. So AI driven systems now enable personalized learning pathways based upon the learner behavior and performance. And most of the LMS are now integrated with AI, and they are providing this personalized learning path and intelligent tutoring and real-time feedback and learning analytics that support early intervention and learner success. So in MOOCs, AI bridges a critical gap by transforming the large-scale courses into a personalized learning journeys, enabling learners to progress at their own pace while maintaining the academic vigor. So AI, when used ethically and transparently, empowers educators, not replace leadership, facilitator, and human. What is it happening?
Ma'am, Malika ma'am.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Now you are
There was
audible.
some interference from Zoom. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. So maybe I do not know where I left. Okay. So now MOOCs as a platform for scale and inclusion. So MOOCs remain as one of the most powerful instruments for scalable and inclusive education. They expand access to quality learning for diverse learners and support lifelong learning and reskilling, enable institutional collaboration and global knowledge sharing. So, however, the next generation MOOCs must go beyond the video lectures and quizzes. So, they must integrate AI driven personalization, interactive assessment, and experiential components to sustain engagement and to ensure learning outcomes. The focus must shift from enrollment numbers to learner completion, competency development, and real world applicability. Okay. The next thing is this AR and VR. Okay, so they can introduce a paradigm shift from learning about concept to learning through experience. So AR VR enables immersive simulation and virtual laboratories, safe exploration of complex, hazardous, or abstract environment, enhance spatial understanding and skill-based learning. So in engineering, in healthcare, teacher education, and vocational training, immersive learning significantly improves retention, engagement, and transfer of knowledge. So when integrated with MOOCs, guided by AI and AR, VR, transforms the digital learning from passive consumption into active experiential learning ecosystems. So this is the potential of AI, MOOCs, and AR, VR has to be combined together to provide a scalable, inclusive, and personalized learning digital environment. So the true potential we have seen, that is scalable of MOOCs, and then personalization because of AI, and then AR, VR delivers immersive and hands-on experiences. Now, when you look at the challenges, what we have to address, they are very immense, and we must confront the critical challenges: the digital divide and infrastructure disparities, and faculty readiness and capacity building, and ethical concern of AI and data privacy, and accessibility and inclusive design. So addressing these challenges requires policy support, institutional leadership, faculty empowerment, and learner-centered design. So technology must remain as a mean, not the end. So the way forward, as an educator and leaders, our responsibility is not just to adopt technology, but to humanize digital learning. So we must design learning experience grounded in pedagogy and equip teachers as a digital mentors and designers, foster innovation while safeguarding inclusions and ethics. So the final thought is, what I would like to emphasize is the integration of AI, MOOCs, AR, VR will offer us an unprecedented opportunity to reimagine education. That one will be accessible, adaptive, and experiential. So let us move forward with a shared commitment to innovate with purpose, to scale with sensitivity, and to ensure the digital learning serves not just efficiency, but equity, empowerment, and excellence. So thank you for the opportunity provided, and I wish all of you for a insightful and thought-provoking conference details. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your insightful and enriching address. We sincerely appreciate your valuable perspectives on digital learning, faculty development, and technology-enabled education, which have greatly added value to this conference. Dr. Leela, ma'am, I think you have got disconnected due to your network issue, ma'am.
Yes, but let me share again, and I will quickly, and go when I stopped.
Yes.
Okay, here's by the way, and this case, this issue, and my electricity has gone, and that's why I was disconnected. It happens very rare, but it reminded me again, now digital technology helped me so much to be reconnected, because now I'm using my mobile spotlight, here, and here's a mobile, Wi-Fi. Has gone, and I'm using my mobile technology. And here's another thing. We have some chargers and even we don't have any electricity, always we can use, for example, some chargers and so on. So let me continue now, and it was about role of artificial intelligence in digital learning, because but here we have some most opportunities, okay, and this AI can give us in digital learning, enhance adaptive learning and personalize some content, automate administrative tasks and assessment, and provide instant feedback and target support, and it powers intelligent tutoring process as well. And but when it comes to major challenges, again, and you saw already, it was one of the electricity in my case, but this is some, okay, joking as well. Okay, so, and we need to, yes, and extend some access, and here's some problems in inequity and in data privacy, and language and cultural barriers and infrastructure issues. So, and here we can say more than, because here what must be done, and what can we do in this case. We need to bridge all digital divides, right, and with equitable here access. And here's prioritize data security and learner privacy. We can develop a very inclusive environment. Yes, and in case of personalized learning, it can be very inclusive style of teaching and learning, and it touches some cultural relevant content as well, and we can enhance digital infrastructure and educated trainings. So future of digital learning, we have here and AI and tech advancements. We can drive very dynamic and interactive virtual and hybrid education. Here's a global scaling, and we can reach more learners worldwide, together and among different countries. And here's the equity in inclusion, ensuring accessibility education for all in the world, right? And evolving, and we can evolve learning goals. We can create adaptive learning and adapting to work first and society needs. So in conclusion, I can say that digital learning is transforming education globally. We have most opportunities and benefits, and but variety of them. And we can solve many challenges, okay? Because but every day you can and development of quite new technologies, and we can solve all these challenges and afford all these, okay, and forces for success, learning and teaching. Here's the inclusive and accessible and innovation education in the global, and together we can build a brighter future for learners everywhere. Okay, sorry again for my incident, and thank you very much for your attention, and enjoy this conference. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your insightful keynote address. We sincerely appreciate your valuable perspectives and scholarly contribution to the field of digital education and intelligent systems.
Thank you.
It is a distinct honor to welcome Mr. Duraisamy Rajiv Krishnan, Executive Director, CLHR Chennai, as the chief guest and deliver the chief guest address. CLHR has grown into a leading HR service organization with an annual turnover of more than 2,000 crore. Mr. Duraiswamy sir has over 30 years of experience in HR services, leadership development, and organizational transformation. He has held senior leadership roles at DDI India, Korn Ferry, Mercer, and Ernst & Young. A respected thought leader and accredited life coach, he continues to shape future leaders and global HR practices. Please, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for the kind introduction, and warm greetings to everyone on this call. I'm very, very grateful to the organizers, specifically Dr. Ram, Dr. Veena, for inviting me to this forum. And it's indeed a pleasure to be part of this, and I really enjoyed the discussions that we've had so far. I'm going to make a small tweak. I'm going to look at this topic from the point of view of the world of work, the world of jobs. Okay, assuming that a lot of learners today are really focused on how do we really get better jobs, how do we get ahead in life, and a lot of folks are also trying to get maybe their first jobs. Okay, so let's look at some trends which are there. These trends are very important. So one is that possibly skills are changing faster than curricula. Okay, so skills are changing faster than curricula. That means the skills demanded by industry are changing more rapidly than the education institution's ability to kind of feed them with folks who got the right training through the curricula. Learners industries are transforming faster as well. So which means that industries have to change, to the demands of the market much faster. So they are changing very rapidly as well. And as an organization which is at the forefront of, finding jobs for folks, we are finding things like job descriptions are changing very, very fast. Okay, and we have to keep pace with that. And every form of learning, every form of imparting education to students has to keep pace with it. The other thing is that other than folks who are in educational institutions today, people who are working in organizations, have to learn faster and faster. They have to adapt, reskill, and stay relevant. Okay, that's a very important thing which is happening today. The other two other things are there are very short skill life cycles. Okay, any skill which you have today is not going to be relevant for very, very long. There are new job roles which are emerging, which folks have not seen earlier. And they require, even organizations sometimes don't know, how to really come up with the job specs for it or the OKRs for it, the key result areas for it, and so on. There are those struggles which are there. The expectation on adaptability and problem solving is very high. Okay, so folks have to remember less and less in terms of just content because it's all easily available, through AI, through other forms of, knowledge aggregation, it's available. But how do you pull in the things that are important and really use them for problem solving? And the other thing, which is the recurring theme, which I started with, is the yawning gap, the widening gap between formal education and workplace requirements, which is where a lot of this digital learning really comes in. So I'll now, given this scenario, given this situation, where the world of work is changing so rapidly and the gaps which exist in it. So the next question we can ask is, what does the learners community or the student community do to bridge this? And several stakeholders, including, the organizers of this SRM University, which are dedicated to bridging this gap, what is it that they really have to look? So I'll maybe come up with 3 or 4, landing points, which are maybe critical things which, everyone probably needs to keep in mind. One is that there are more jobs paradoxically than ever before. Okay, so, and I think one of the earlier speakers, had spoken about the impact of computerization. People thought jobs would go and there were agitations and so on and things which happened. So like that, there is also some concern with AI. But as folks at the forefront of finding, matching jobs with people, we can tell you that the number of jobs are only going to increase more and more. Okay, it's going to be an unprecedented availability of jobs of different kinds. So we don't have to worry about jobs coming down. Jobs are only going to increase. And the easiest, kind of yardstick for it is the number of employable people has increased over the years, right? So it's many, many more times than what it was maybe a decade back. And even if you look at unemployment, it's not really increased to that extent that it should have, or people feared it would. So therefore, the number of jobs, you can conclude that the number of jobs has been increasing over time, and it's going to keep on increasing, right? So that is one. The other thing is, so that's the first point, there are going to be more and more jobs. The second is, we have to probably remember the Boy Scout motto. Okay, we have to be prepared. Okay, so everyone who's entering the world of jobs has to be prepared. And online universities, online educational forums, learning forums, digital learning forums, the traditional universities as well, all these are forums to prepare you for the world of work. Okay, but that preparation is undergoing a change. Okay, so to the extent that you cannot be prepared enough. Okay, we can't say that I'm 95% ready, I'm 80% ready or whatever, and I can take on these kinds of jobs. There is always a gap which is there, which we spoke about. That's a gap between skills and jobs. but it behoves everyone who's seeking jobs to be prepared. So that's one thing we need to remember. The second point is that also a kind of theme which came, in another context from an earlier speaker is no one gets left behind. Okay, so which means in the world of jobs, there is going to be a clear gradation of jobs. There is going to be a ladder of jobs. There are going to be jobs at different levels, but there are going to be jobs for almost everyone. Okay, so what is my entry point into this world of jobs? Am I going to start at a level where I'm probably using, manual capabilities, physical capabilities, or I'm going to be using a few levels above that, much higher than that? All these are going to depend on the previous point, which is the how prepared you're going to be. Okay, so how prepared you're going to be is going to determine. So no one's going to get left behind, but you'd be a little behind in the overall, kind of race for jobs. Assuming that there is a gradation in it based on maybe, salaries or working conditions or several other things or prospects which would be in. So that's the second point. So the first was that be prepared. The second is that nobody gets left behind. The third is that you have to know yourself. Okay, so the Delphic Oracle said, know thyself, okay, in a different context. And different philosophers have also said, know thyself. But here we are using it more in the organization or in the work context. Okay, I have to be very clear, even if I am a student of maybe 18 or 19 years of age, or I'm maybe a later lateral entrant into the workforce, I need to be very clear as to what my strengths are. Okay, what my strengths are, what my areas of development, in case they would surely be there, maybe on the behavioral side, they could be there in terms of skill gaps. But I need to be very, very clear about who I am. Okay, and what are maybe kinds of jobs which fit in with my strengths and so on. So we find many cases as folks who, kind of find jobs for people, we find many people don't know what they want. Okay, they're not very clear about what they want. They join organizations. We find, and sometimes, people find it convenient to blame Gen Z or Alpha or whatever, but we find more and more folks coming in who say, okay, this is not the job that I wanted. I've been here for a few months, but hey, look, I want to change or I want to do something else. So that's where this knowing thyself or knowing oneself becomes very important, that we are very clear about what we want and we prepare ourselves very rigorously for that. And the final point, which I probably want to just, leave folks with is that there's going to be an increasing importance, and this converges directly to the topic, relating to digital learning. And once again, a distinguished speaker mentioned it earlier. A lot of it is going to be actually skill practice. Okay, while we have, concepts, we have content, which is showcased, which people learn and so on. And this is where maybe AR, VR, and certain other ways by which you get practical experience of doing certain kinds of tasks. In fact, I was watching that presentation very intently. So maybe hazardous situations, maybe certain situations where you may not have the actual opportunity to practice that role before you get into it. We've heard of flight simulators and so on. The certain kinds of things, how do you land on an aircraft carrier for the first time and so on. Many of those you can't, there's no margin for error even in the first time you try it. And maybe there are going to be many such jobs with, a lot of consequences. So how do you really make out, or how do you really kind of find digital learning or training situations, or maybe, kind of, devices or, kind of things which help you do it with minimum of risk and with maximum of practice before you actually get thrown into the work situation. So with that, I'll probably, conclude, probably reach the limit of my, kind of 10 minutes, which was given. I want to thank once again, Dr. Veena, Dr. Ram. It's been indeed a great pleasure to come and indeed a great pleasure to participate and hear the very, very nice sessions that the sections that you had so far, and look forward to further participation. Thank you once again for inviting me to be part of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. We extend our sincere thanks to Mr. Duraiswamy Rajiv Krishnan for his enlightening address. Your insights on leadership, HR strategy, and organizational transformation have greatly enriched this conference. We now move on to a significant milestone of this conference, the release of the conference proceedings, which encapsulates the valuable research papers, scholarly insights, and academic contributions presented during this event. May I request our esteemed dignitaries to kindly join us for the virtual release of the conference proceeding by switching on your video.
Sure.
Thank you all. With this, we now invite Dr. Veena Christie, conference co-convener, to deliver the vote of thanks.
At the outset, I wish to thank the Almighty for the divine support, and on behalf of our directorate, we express our respectful thanks to Dr. Amia Baumiksa, founder and president of Lincoln University College, Malaysia, and the conference co-chair for his inaugural address and for strengthening international academic collaboration through this conference. Our sincere thanks to the keynote speakers, Mr. Nick Hutton, Regional Director of Microsoft, Singapore, Ms. Amna Albastaki, Cybersecurity Engineer, General Directorate of Residence and Foreigners Affairs from UAE, and Dr. Leila Mitskulava, Associate Professor of Ivane Janvakishvili, Tbilisi State University from Georgia, for their scholarly contributions and expert insights into digital learning, digital transformation, and its global relevance. We place on record our appreciation to Dr. Maliga, professor from NITTR Chennai, for her special address and emphasizing on purpose of education and for representing our collaborating institution. We gratefully acknowledge the presence and address of the chief guest, Mr. Doraisamy Rajakrishnan sir, Executive Director of CLHR, for his valuable insights on work situations, organizational transformation, and industry academia perspectives. We express our gratitude to our director and conference chair, Dr. Manoranjan Pongam, for his thoughtful and able leadership, guidance, and support in planning and organizing the conference. We acknowledge with thanks the contributions of collaborating institutions, SRM Media, session chairs, paper presenters, authors and reviewers whose academic contributions enrich the quality of deliberations. We also thank the organizing committee, LMS and technical support teams, administrative staff, and student volunteers for their coordinated efforts in ensuring the smooth conduct of this conference. Finally, we thank all delegates and participants for their active participation and engagement, which contributed to the overall success of this session. Thank you, ma'am.
I think before Revati start these things, right? So I express my sincere thanks to all because I join along with Dr. Veena to thank all of you because mostly we have coordinated over email and Zoom meetings and other things, right? So it was a wonderful thought process which you people have shared. I hope this conference will take it further, your thought process, and we will conclude it with the statement as the from Lincoln University Chancellor as requested for, which we will take into consideration. Thank you all. Revati, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Veena ma'am, for the gracious vote of thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, we conclude the inaugural session of the virtual conference on unleashing the potential of digital learning, challenges and opportunities. Thank you all for your presence and participation. We shall come again for the technical session at 2 p.m. Have a great, wonderful day ahead.
Standard time. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.